guys, Tomboy61, and today we have a review of the Hill, the all-new premium destroyer that you can either buy or earn for free if you play the April Fool's event enough. You can get it for 6,250 doubloons or 6,250 of the title coins. So pick and choose. Overall, I'm really enjoying the Hill. We'll go ahead and go over our build with her, the commander, the stats, all that good jazz, and then show off a pretty fun game in her. So the commander that we are running is going to be Vincent Mordoff. He is my go-to American destroyer commander because they tend to be gunboats, and he does a fairly decent job at buffing some of those gunboat traits. His base skill is going to reduce the reload time on the main battery. The two inspirations I'm running, Eric Bay to help with that concealment, and William Sims to boost the hit points of the vessel so it can duke it out a little bit more. Then we're running Observant Range. This is something I usually run Mortar, but because of the range on the Torps, which we will get to, I'm running Look at Me Now. Then we are running Perceptive, Sheltered Arms, and Unstoppable. As far as the consumables go, we do have three of them. The first one is the Damage Control Party, 5-second reload, or 5-second duration, 40-second reload. 2 charges of smoke, gonna dispense for 25 seconds, be around for 115 seconds, and then reload in 240. And we also get an engine boost, 8% boost in speed with a duration of 120 seconds, reload time at 180 seconds, and you're gonna get 2 charges of it. The last thing that we have is, well, the mods, and there's only one mod slot because it's a tier 4. We're running Aiming System Mod 1. So with all of that said, let's now get on into the stats of the vessel. The Hill with our build is going to have 13,620 hit points with between 6 and 13 millimeters of armor. We'll go ahead and take a look at that armor view. Woo! 10 millimeters of armor everywhere, boys. That's what we got. It's nothing too impressive. We wouldn't expect it just because, well, it's a destroyer. It doesn't do really, armor isn't its thing. Anyways, moving on to the main battery, we have 5 one-barreled 127 millimeter guns, which are a different gun than the ones on the Farragut. They do behave a little bit differently. They definitely fly quicker and have a bit of a flatter arc. I really do enjoy them. Firing range on them, 10.1 kilometers with a reload time of 4.2 seconds, giving you a shells per minute of 71 and a 180 time of 12 seconds. HE damage, 1800, giving you 127,800 damage per minute when firing HE, and a 5% chance to set fire. AP damage, you're going to be doing 2100, which gives you 149,100. So that puts it just slightly behind the Farragut as far as DPM goes. But I will say, I think the guns are better at longer range. These do seem to be a little bit more consistent at the further ranges. The next thing is the highlight of the vessel, and those are going to be the torpedoes, or at least they're what is substantially different. 3-barreled 533 millimeter torpedo tubes, giving you 1 additional one over Farragut. Reload time on those 2 tubes, 66 seconds, meaning you're going to be able to fire more torpedoes more quickly. Damage on those torpedoes, it's a standard American Torps, 11,733. Detectability range on those torpedoes, 1.1 kilometers with a top speed of 56 knots and a range of 5.5 kilometers. AA is somewhat of a highlight on this ship. Pretty decent overall for a destroyer. Range on it is going to be 5 kilometers. Min damage 30 goes up to 52, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but at tier 4, it's surprisingly good, especially for a destroyer. Max speed of the vessel, 37.5 knots with a turning radius of 560 meters and a rudder shift time of 3.4 seconds. Finally, on to concealment. Detectability by sea is going to be 5.3 kilometers, so just barely being able to stealth fire those torps. Detectability by air, 2.9, and firing in smoke at 2.3. And those, my friends, are all of the stats of this vessel. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the ship in action. Okay, so here we are on Ring, and it is domination mode. 3 destroyers on each side. Each kind of grouping of 3 got 1 destroyer spawn. So we're all looking good. We're set up for a decent match. Before we get into the action, let's go ahead and just talk about Hill. I quite enjoy this ship. It is not my favorite tier 4 destroyer, but it is definitely up there. I enjoy the additional flexibility you get from the shorter reload torpedoes. Those are nice. The guns feel just that little bit different from Farragut. That makes her special. She doesn't outcompete Farragut. Farragut could out DPM her, but I do definitely feel like these guns have a better trajectory than what we would usually get out of American guns. They feel just like they fire just a little bit flatter than you would usually expect, and that means you are a little bit better at engaging at those further ranges. Mind you, at that point then, those torpedoes become point defense because the torpedo range is just 0.1, or at least with this build, is just 0.1 kilometers longer than your firing range. Anyways, we are here in the cap. We're going to go ahead and use our first smoke. I had heard tale of this ship's ability to put out AP damage, so I want to test it out on this broadside Hawkins. We're doing decently, not great. I had heard a lot of things from other community contributors that the AP damage on this thing was great, or at least the AP pen was pretty good. I've heard other people doing really well. We're doing okay with the damage. Anyways, we are now in our smoke, and we kind of noticed something. One, we ain't capping anymore, which tells us we're in danger, because that smoke on the other side, not in the cap, which means that enemy destroyer is most likely pushing into our smoke and firing torps at the smoke, because if you sit in your smoke, you're going to be dead. So we are turning as hard as we can. Thankfully, Okhotnit's torps don't have the range to quite punch in, and we narrowly missed that. But that gives us an ability to go ahead and engage this first destroyer of the enemy team. We're going to send one set of wide-fire torps, because he's going to bow in to our friendly destroyer over there, which gives us plenty of time to engage the murder sausage and, well, murder him. As you can see, we're doing pretty good damage. We're chunking him for a good amount, and we finish him off with the torp there. So now we're doing okay. We're about to cap A, but we notice down in D, our team is not doing too hot, right? There's only kind of 2 ships over there, and that Gnevny is not long for this world. He doesn't have much health left, so we're going to go ahead and kind of head down there, try to assist, do what we can, be a thorn in their sides down here. I think our team, our 5 ships that are on this side, they can handle the one battleship, or at least I hope they can handle the one battleship. We need to kind of assist where our team is weak. We haven't lost a ship yet, but they are definitely not looking great on this side. We can all see both of the enemy destroyers are back over here. Gnevny, like I said, not much health left on his left on his ship, so we're gonna kind of sub in for him. He's gonna go away. He's gonna peel away as being the destroyer on this flank, and we are going to sub in for him. But we do need to be careful, right? There aren't many other ships on this flank. We can't go rushing out there. We need to be careful, understand where the enemy ships are, and kind of let them come to us. Use the islands as cover so that they can't come and easily have an angle to attack on us. So we're going to position ourselves right in this inlet right over here. We know they should, if they want to kind of push into sea, they're going to have to cross this area. We should be able to get a nice line of fire on them. Additionally, hopefully they'll be kind of concentrating on our forces, but Farragut comes around the corner right here, probably assuming the Gnevny was around the corner, and well, 1 salvo, 2 salvos, and I think this third one will finish him. Down he goes, and we are all set. Next, Cavor out in the distance. He's not within range to fire his what would be absolutely deadly secondaries at us, but sadly he isn't turning in, so we're not really able to push out to him, because we know there's a Gorky that's sitting in the cap, and if we push out, that Gorky will absolutely kill us. So now we are going to try to get this Gorky to come in close, because if we can get him to come in close, we can use our torpedoes. We may be able to use that AP we've heard so much about. We kind of want to tempt him our way. In this Cavor not paying us any attention, and that Fushin out in the distance not able to really deal much damage back. So we are going to kind of focus our way on the Cavor, see what our AP does, see what our HE does. We see we're kind of shattering a lot with the AP, so we'll flip over back to the HE, try to get a permanent fire on this Cavor. Mind you, Cavor tends to be built as a brawler, so he can heal a lot of this fire damage back, but we just want to force him to think about something else. We want a little bit of additional pressure to be applied to this Cavor, and we also kind of want to signal to that Gorky, hey, there's a juicy destroyer right around the corner. Just come push around the corner. Nothing wrong could happen if you push around the corner, right? We want him to kind of come our way, but we don't want to be exactly in contention with him quite yet. We get the second fire set on the Kavor, and we're doing decent damage with the fires. Like, we don't have the greatest fire chance, right? We only have a 5% fire chance, but with 5 guns and firing every 4.2 seconds, you do get a good amount of fires, especially for a lower tier DD. It's not a barn burning ship, but you do get a decent amount of fires. But we can see this Gorky, he's had a little bit of his health chipped away. He's starting to come out around the corner. He starts to turn broadside. We're like, okay, here's our next chance at trying out this AP, and it's, you know, we're gonna fire, see what we do. We get a decent hit right there with the AP or with the HE. AP, get one little ricochet there. See what this next one does. Okay, decent right there, but we're gonna flip over to HE just because he is starting to angle out. We want to get these hits in because we can see we're doing decent. We're getting good clusters there, but we end up taking the Gorky down. That's 2 kills. We are tied currently on ships, but we need to start supporting our guy down in C. We don't want them flipping over to C, so that's going to be our usual priority. Now, a lot of times I probably would have said go for D, but we know that there's an enemy destroyer pushing towards our one battleship over there. We want to support him. We want to prevent them from flipping C. We know this Kavor hasn't had much interest in reconciling us and making us pay for being spotted this whole time. And we know that Fushin over there, well, we can outgun him if he decides to start shooting at us. And more importantly, he has torpedoes that can't hit us. So Kavor, very low on health now, so if we can get a fire, we may be able to get that kill. Mind you, it's a bit of a yoink at this point because we have not done a ton of damage to him, but we've done decently. We've done enough, but we want to go ahead and start protecting C. We're going to move in. Engine boost is about back. That's the other thing I want to talk about on this ship. Engine boost, really good. Gets you up to about 40 knots, which is, well, pretty good for a tier 4 ship. 40 knot tier 4 ship. It's relatively quick. Sadly, we see that our Tennessee off to our flank has gone down, but we know where that Fushin is. We can go ahead and push into him. We go ahead, pop that engine boost, and we can see we're going to get up to 40 knot, close the distance as quick as we can. We know we can out DPM him just because he does not have the damage there, and we know he can't hit us with torps, so we don't need to be really fearing there. One thing to note on the hill as well is where the guns are positioned. It's easy to get kind of 4 on target, a little bit more difficult and hard to get that full broadside. You do have to give a lot of your broadside out in order to get all 5 guns on target, which is a bit unfortunate, but I understand why. You know, the guns are positioned the way they are. It's just a little bit, you lose a good chunk of your DPM when you kind of turn in an angle correctly in the ship, which is unfortunate, but hey, it's a destroyer. It's not like you have a citadel to worry about. It just makes you a bigger horizontal target, and that's usually kind of the spread of enemy ships, or at least that's the spread of incoming shells, is that horizontal spread. So it is a little bit of a downside to have such a horizontal spread. Anyways, we still have 48 seconds left on this very, very quick engine boost. We've taken out the Fushin. We're at 4 kills, which means the Kraken hunt is officially here. We are going for the Kraken. We are at full speed. We know it's an enemy battleship. We can see he's kind of out in the corner right now. We're going to use this island just in case he's closer than we expect to be able to get in and get a little bit closer than what we could if he is within our spotting range. But we don't quite know where he is yet. We can see our twist and track is putting him somewhere behind this island. We see Ismail is right there. Guns are somewhat aimed towards us, so we do need to be careful. He is sailing at a perpendicular angle to us, which is unfortunate because we need him to be pushing into us if we want to be able to get those torps off to kill him. Just because of the range on that ship, I don't want to take on this Ismail just because he has a ton of guns and he could easily get rid of us if he so chooses. So we can see he's starting to turn out, so we know we are going to have to use our guns. We know this island is coming around. We know we can't really aim those guns quick enough to turn over to us. Also, he has 2 battleships approaching from the other side. So we are cleared to go ahead and just start kind of aiming at him over this island. We get a few hits here. We can see he's well within our range. So if we want, we could stop, deploy the smoke, and be pretty safe in finishing him off. That's what we kind of play with doing here. We're going to kind of check his guns. If they start rotating towards us, we'll go ahead, pop that smoke, and hit in the full dive. But right now, he hasn't quite done that, but we are going to kind of prep that. We get a fire. Of course, Ismail, Russian ships, they do have that quick damage con, so he's able to put it out. We hope we can get just one more fire to whittle him down. They don't have a very long active time, the Russian damage con, so if we can get another fire, it will spell the death of this Ismail. Of course, we're the only one spotting him, surprisingly. We get the fire on some shells that go over, and, well, that's all we wrote for the Ismail. We get the Kraken. Anyways, guys, that's the game. As far as Hill goes, I think it's a fun ship. It's a little twist on the American gunboats. If you like American destroyers, you'll like the Hill. You can have some pretty fun. If you like the racing mode, I think it's a good way to go ahead and earn this thing. So yeah, guys, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.